Google Fi or T-Mobile? Today we are putting those two carriers head to head to see, is it worth it to switch or to stay with Google Fi or T-Mobile? Now I have my opinion, but by the end of the video you might have your own, so let's get to it. I'm Sherry, your telecom expert with WhistleOut. I'm comparing Google Fi and T-Mobile in 4 categories. We're looking at network, we're looking at speed, cost, and international perks. And that is where Google Fi or T-Mobile shine. The main reason you might want to switch or stay with one specific carrier, so stay to the end so you don't miss out on that one. So first we are looking at network. What network do these carriers run on? Well, this one's easy. It's a tie. They both run on the T-Mobile network. Google Fi used to run on T-Mobile and a smaller carrier known as US Cellular, but they dropped US Cellular and are full-time T-Mobile. So the network is the same on each carrier, just a little bit cheaper on Google Fi. But what does the network look like? Well, when it comes to 5G, T-Mobile has the biggest, widest build out of 5G, and it's incredibly fast as well. So that's one thing to keep in mind. But each of these carriers are both on T-Mobile, so they tie in this category. If you want to learn more about coverage, we have a 4G and 5G 2023 coverage update up here. So the first category is a wash. It's a tie, but this next one, Google Fi wins. We're talking cost. Google Fi is so much cheaper than T-Mobile. Google Fi has 3 plans that range in cost from $20 to $65, although the middle plan that costs $50 is a wash. We can just get rid of that one. I don't love it. When we're looking at the cost of T-Mobile's plans, they're all very expensive, ranging from $65 to $85. And depending on what you're looking for, in my opinion, it's not totally worth the extra cost. Let's look at the perks of Google Fi, specifically their $65 unlimited plan, because I feel like that's most comparable to T-Mobile's. With Google Fi's $65 plan, you get 50 gigabytes of full speed, high speed data, and you still get unlimited data after that. It's just slowed down. You also get unlimited use of a hotspot, which I love. When we're looking at T-Mobile, for $85, you do get truly unlimited data. It never slows down, it never stops. It is full speed, full force data with 40 gigabytes of a hotspot, which is more than you'll ever really need. And because T-Mobile's offerings are more than you'll ever really need, that's why I think it's worth it to pay a little less and get a little less, because that way you are only paying for what you're using on Google Fi. Let's look at other perks inside of the cost of these plans. T-Mobile has some killer perks, but maybe you don't need them all. They're awesome, especially when it comes to streaming services. You get Paramount Plus for free, Netflix, and Apple TV Plus. That is some big savings. However, Google Fi comes back pretty hard, throwing some punches. You get YouTube TV free for a year, which is $65 a month. When you add up the cost of the perks from each carrier, Google Fi has the most savings. So just there, you are saving a lot of money, and you can get the same amount of content on YouTube TV versus all 3 of those carriers, those streaming services put together. The last perk that I love with Google Fi is that you get a free data connected device. You have to pay for that on T-Mobile. So you can connect your smartwatch, a tablet, or any other smart device for free that draws from your data limit on your Google Fi plan. That is an amazing perk that just isn't talked about enough and is one of my favorites in the whole world of telecom, as geeky as that sounds. That's the geekiest, nerdiest thing I've ever said. The last thing we need to talk about are the international perks, which I said was the biggest reason to choose either Google Fi or T-Mobile. So let's go over those, starting with T-Mobile. So T-Mobile is known to have some pretty incredible travel perks, including free in-flight Wi-Fi access on any flight that offers GoGo in flight, which is a handful of them. If you don't have T-Mobile's perk, you have to pay for internet access, which is just annoying, which can cost anywhere from like $5 to $15 depending on your flight and airline. Now, when it comes to using your plan abroad, with T-Mobile, you do get 5 gigabytes of full speed, high speed data, and then it slows. So you don't have to pay anything extra, but you just don't have full use of your plan. 5 gigabytes can be used up pretty quickly, and then you're stuck using 2G speeds, which is just incredibly frustrating. And when you're outside of the country, texts are free, but calls cost 25 cents a minute. It's a little pricey and that can add up. I mean, you might be better off just using a Wi-Fi connected service to make phone calls, but if that's not available, you gotta pay 25 cents a minute. And lastly, you can use your phone with that 5 GB allowance in 200 countries across the world, which is pretty nice. But fortunately or unfortunately, Google Fi blows T-Mobile out of the water when it comes to international perks, and that's why they win this section. So let's look at that. With Google Fi, you get full unfettered access to every single part of your plan in 200 plus countries, which is incredibly helpful. Your speeds never slow down, your data never stops, it just keeps coming until, of course, you reach your data limit. With Google Fi, texts are free to over 50 countries while you are in them, and calls cost 20 cents per minute, which is a bit cheaper than T-Mobile, but sometimes every cent counts. So when we're looking at 25 cents to 20 cents for a minute-long phone call, it might just be a little bit cheaper to go with Google Fi. Overall, my recommendation, if you are deciding between these two carriers, is Google Fi and their unlimited Premium Plus plan. For me, cost is a big important factor in my decision making, and I've been known to travel regularly. Having full access to my data plan is important for uploading, posting, calling, anything in particular. It's just really important for me to have access to my phone at all times, and I wouldn't have that with T-Mobile. So for me, the real answer, the true good answer, is Google Fi when you're deciding between the two. Bottom line though, T-Mobile does offer fully unlimited data. So if you are a heavy data user, T-Mobile might be for you. However, you're gonna need to use a lot of data for that to make sense cost-wise. Let me know what you think of this comparison. Which would you choose, T-Mobile or Google Fi? Let me know in the comments below. I'm Sherry, your telecom expert with WhistleOut.